I'm going to tell you the story of this dimple that is on my cheek. I'll move it a little bit closer to the camera so you can see it. It's a dimple. It's a permanent scar. When I was 6 years old, we lived in the country in a pretty foresty neighborhood, and I remember I would love to ride my bike up and down the street and on trails, and we had a really long driveway. And the driveway was about 1 car width, so you could park a car in the driveway, and there might be a foot of space on either side of the car to walk next to the car, to ride your bike next to the car. So one evening, it was about sunset. The sun was barely up, but you could still kind of see, and that's relevant to this story because my brother's friend, who I was 6 years old, he must have been about 12, was riding in the other direction on his bicycle. So I was slowly riding my bike along the side of the car towards my house, and this bigger kid comes barreling on his bike. I don't know what he was on his way to, if he was racing home for dinner, whatever it was, we crashed, and I tumbled off in the grass with the dirt in my face to the left and kind of down an embankment into our front yard. I don't remember him coming back to see if I was okay or any further dialogue from him. Maybe he was injured too. I actually never got his side of the story, and that's not part of my memory of this. But something sharp must have pierced as I was rolling and tumbling through the front yard, because I had this bloody spot and blood raining down my face. And being 6 years old, I did start to cry. I was in shock. I was probably in some pain from bumping my head or tumbling and bruising myself, because I did take quite a fall. And I remember walking up about 50 feet around into our garage where my dad was working on his tools, and he saw his bleeding kid come in through the door. And I remember he took a yellow towel that he had to clean the workbench with and immediately held it up to my face to try and stop the bleeding, which I guess is protocol when he didn't really know how severe the bleeding was. In any case, eventually we drove about 40 minutes to the urgent care center, and it was that far away because we did live in the country. And I don't think they ever filled this with stitches, or patched it up rather with stitches. I think they kind of just let it heal. It may have clotted by that point. Something did pierce my cheek, and it did go all the way through, but it was such a small hole that I think they just let it heal normally. I don't know if they did anything besides maybe disinfect it and put a Band-Aid on it. But yeah, for the rest of my life, I have been able to see that very distinct dimple just to the right of my lips on that cheek. And that comes from when I was 6 years old, riding my bike in that neighborhood, and it was a little bit dark, and had that accident with the other kid. I hope you enjoyed this story. Hope you're having a fantastic week. I'll see you soon.